It is September 2008. I'm here with my dad, Scott Lewis, for an interview about traveling the world for English Composition 143. First question. Tell me briefly about yourself, where you were born and raised, and a few interests you may have, as well as some educational history.
My name is Scott Lewis. I've been married to Susan, my wife, for 22 years, going on 23. I grew up in Southern California in a middle-class family, normal education, normal life, and completed my college education up to master's level in teaching English as a foreign language. And I have 4 kids.
What initially sparked your interest in traveling the world and other cultures?
My initial interest started when I read a book called Peace Child by Don Richardson. He had worked overseas in in Papua New Guinea, and I realized that he worked with people that didn't speak a language, or spoke a language that didn't have a written form, and I wanted to learn how to do that.
What did you do for a living during that period of time that supported that lifestyle?
But once I learned about organizations in our country that did that kind of work, I found out about Wycliffe Bible translators. And what they do, they go overseas and they find groups of people that have a spoken language, but it doesn't have a written form. And so what we did at that time was learn their spoken language, and then develop an alphabet, and then teach them to read and write their own language. And then as a result, translate the New Testament into their language so that they would have it. And friends and family that understood what we were doing could be involved in that. It's called Faith Mission. And they would support our ministry on a monthly basis and send us to go do that work. And so that enabled us to travel and do that.
Tell me some of your most memorable moments, some of the things maybe that you've seen that people wish they could see.
Well, I've seen a lot of things. I've seen a pride of lions take down a water buffalo. I've seen giraffes walking alongside the highway. I went through a border crossing and the president of Kenya crossed at the same time. It was right near me. I've seen live volcanoes at night and seen the lava tumble down the side. I've been charged by elephants and charged by rhinos. I've stood on the equator, 1 foot in each hemisphere. Those are just a few of the things and many more.
Anything else?
I've seen the American flag flying over our embassy, and that just really makes me proud to be an American and know you're part of one of the greatest countries in the world.
Did you ever climb any mountains or anything?
Yeah, I climbed Mount Kenya, second highest mountain on the African continent.
Wow.
You're interviewing.
It's like I know what you're gonna say already. Hello? Alright, let's hit this question. Here we go. How many countries have you been to?
Well, I've been to France, Switzerland, Canada, that's an easy one. Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania. Anything else? Costa Rica and Mexico.
Which did you enjoy the most?
I really like Kenya. I like the people in Kenya. I like Swahili and speaking Swahili. That was pretty neat. And then I liked Costa Rica. It was, for a third world country, it was easy to get around in and relate to the people, and it's a beautiful country.
What are some of the most dangerous situations you've been in? 1 or 2?
I was downtown in Nairobi with Susan, my wife, when a riot broke out, and we had to get out of there, head of the running people. We were stalked by some people that were probably going to try and mug us in Costa Rica, and had to get out of that situation. We had to cross the border between Kenya and Tanzania a lot, and there were bandits out all the time, so that was a constant danger. Getting our car stopped and taken over. Stampeding, we had elephants charged, like I said, and rhinos. And they can be pretty damaging.
Do you have any regrets? Anything that you wish you could have possibly done differently? If you could go back?
No, I don't know that I mean, what can you say? I mean, I wish... I can't think of anything offhand that I would probably change. I mean, it was a positive time.
You're such a positive guy. Look at you, all smiling. After working in many different countries with many different ethnicities and with many people from many different wealth classes, of whom most were extremely impoverished, how has this affected the way you think about the U.S. and what it has to offer versus where you've been?
Well, I've seen a great deal of stuff, and I realize that other people, whether they're poor or not, family's important, and it's pretty much not what you have or what you can buy. It's those around you that enrich your life, and so that's helped. I didn't grow up in that environment necessarily, and it's made me really love my country. I've come home and realized, we live in one of the best countries in the world, and just the blessing we have here, and the potential to make something of yourself here is incredible.
Things like the road system and things like that, what things that you really learned to not take advantage of, possibly, that the U.S. offers?
Well, yeah, we live our day here and don't even realize what we have. We don't even think about going on a road, and there a road is broken up and you have to weave in potholes. People die all the time on roads there because of the poor condition of vehicles. Our government holds our vehicles to a certain standard. Just living, health, the availability of medicine and health things. Water, clean water, we take that for granted. We turn a tap on, but those people have poor water sources. It's just amazing.
Kind of along that same line, how have the things you've seen and the time you've spent in other countries, how has this affected and shaped your political views for this upcoming presidential election?
Well, in my experience, living in a multiplicity of countries, I think people realize that America is a strong nation, and we represent a balance to the rest of the world. And when we're strong, then other countries feel safe because they know that we're going to support democracies and help, their countries. And, I really believe that as long as we continue to help people, our country will be strong. That's one of the principles of our country. And we need a strong leader, someone that people are going to look to America and say, this country's not going to waver. And we don't need somebody that is going to learn on the job. And I think if we put somebody in that feels like, they feel they're the right time for the job, but they're going to learn as they go, we don't need that. We need someone that's a strong presence. And, that's pretty clear. We've got a great country, and people realize it, and we need to vote accordingly, I think. And so what it's done for me is, I love this country, and I think it's the greatest place on the earth.
Okay, could you maybe elaborate on that just a little bit? What about the candidates exactly? What is there about the candidates that appeals to you?
Well, I see one candidate as being very strong, not double-minded, says what he thinks, and sticks to what he says. And then I see another candidate that is completely wavering. They'll say whatever the media wants them to say, and you know what? People like strength and stability overseas. They don't like this wavering stuff, and I know that firsthand. And so a lot of the stuff that we say that these countries around the world hate America, that's not true. It's absolutely not true. It's what the media says. Countries around the world love us and the support and help that we bring to their nations.
All right. That's all I have. Is there anything else you'd like to add on that topic?
Nope. Traveling the world's a great opportunity. It helps you appreciate what you have and what you don't have. It's a good opportunity to serve others and help others. And everyone should leave their country and realize, what you have here. Otherwise, you'll just end up taking it for granted the rest of your life.
All right. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. And God bless America!
I caught that. And that's going in the interview.